call this meeting of the Committee of the Whole to order at 6:33. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Allen.
Here.
Mayor Murphy.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Doherty.
Here.
Mr. Burchett.
Here.
Mrs. Witt.
Here.
Ms. Marcus.
Here. We have the approval of the minutes from our Committee of the Whole meeting on September 12th. If there are no changes, corrections, they will be approved as they are. Hearing none, they are approved. Acting Finance Director, do you have anything?
I have nothing tonight, thank you.
City Manager,
I have nothing, Ms. Marcus, thank you.
Mayor,
I have nothing at this time, thank you.
Law Director.
I just have one request. That's a request for an executive session at the end of this meeting with no business to follow for matters pertaining to negotiations with bargaining units and also disposition of city-owned property.
I'll make a motion that we have an executive session following this meeting as outlined by the law director with no business to follow.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Witt.
Yes.
Mr. Burchett.
Yes.
Mr. Doherty.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mayor Murphy.
Yes.
Mrs. Allen.
Yes.
Ms. Marcus.
Yes. Clerk of Council.
I have nothing, thank you, Ms. Marcus.
Business, we have 3 items. The first one is the master park plan discussion.
All right, I just wanted to give you an update where we are in the process. I sent you the PowerPoint presentation of the first steering committee meeting. So just kind of where we're at, I just wanted to give you just a quick update. The process started in mid-June. We have had 1 steering committee meeting. We've had 2 stakeholder meetings. We've had 1 open house, 1 event at National Night Out. So far, we have collected over 305 surveys, and they have collected over 200 random sample surveys that were sent out to the homes. So in total, we're over 500 surveys that have been done, which is great for us to get the feedback from the citizens here. The percentage is about 80% Moraine residents have done this. So that's good in itself that we're getting feedback from people that live here, not outsiders. Also, we are now we're in the engagement phase, which is basically the second phase out of the 4. And in about mid-December, we'll be heading into the envision phase. And they are still collecting data now for the engagement phase to be completed. So all in all, if you have any questions on the packet in front of you, the PowerPoint in front of you, the process is going really well, and it's going very smooth. So I appreciate everybody that has either filled out one of the surveys or participated in the open house or National Night Out. So we can't thank them enough because this is going to be their park system. We're just here to provide it for them. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Does it look like we have any questions? Did you need anything from us at this point?
No, I just wanted to give you an update. That's all.
All right, thank you.
Thank
When
you.
is the next steering committee meeting?
I believe it's November 20th, if I'm not mistaken.
Thank
But
you.
I'll send an email out as we get closer.
All right,
So,
perfect.
all right, thank you.
Second item we have is a decision for the rezoning case R-02-2024, which is 2853 Gladstone Street.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Marcus. So regarding that, based off the public hearing earlier this evening at the regular council meeting, I would like to request for legislation to be prepared for the 2853 Gladstone Street property, which consists of lots 2544 and 2545, to be rezoned from the R2 zoning district to the R3 zoning district. If there are any questions or anything regarding that, I am more than happy to answer. Thank you.
We need a motion or we
You
need
need-
legislation?
Legislation for the next meeting.
Okay, I'll make for legislation to be prepared for the rezoning case of R-02-2024- at 2853 Gladstone to be for our next meeting.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate it.
Any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Mayor Murphy?
Yes.
Mrs. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Burchett?
Yes.
Mrs. Witt?
Yes.
Mr. Doherty?
Yes.
Ms. Marcus?
Yes. Our final item is the appointment for MVRPC-TAC representative.
Yes, I'll take this, Ms. Marcus. So this is really somewhat of a housekeeping item in the sense that our history has always been that the TAC, which is the Transportation Committee through MVRPC, the city engineer has been the primary appointee, and then the alternate has been someone else within community development, often the city planner. And currently, the city planner is the alternate, the city manager is the appointee, so the request is to have legislation drawn appointing Lauren, our city engineer, as the primary appointee. We would need legislation.
I'll make a motion to draw up legislation for the next meeting, appointing Lauren as the new TAC representative for the MVRPC.
Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Doherty?
Yes.
Mr. Burchett?
Yes.
Mrs. Witt?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Allen?
Yes.
Mayor Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Marcus?
Yes. We have no one appearing before council. Going to staff reports. Start with the police department.
I have nothing, ma'am. Thank you.
Except to vote.
But vote early and often.
Every device you can find.
Fire department.
Yes, ma'am, I apologize. I forgot to mention before, Safety Fest is coming up on October 1st from 6 to 8 over at the Springboro Plaza. It's advertised as 6 to 8. From 5 to 6 is a sensory-friendly part of it. So kids who can't be around all the noise and the lights and the sirens, we're getting there an hour early along with all the vendors, and we've got it out to the different autism societies that to bring their kids because it was brought to our attention that they don't get a chance to take their kids to these events because of the lights and sirens and stuff. So October 1st, 6 to 8 over at the Springboro Plaza, we have a lot of vendors, a lot of things to demonstrate. So we hope to see everybody there.
Building maintenance? Street department, rather? I can't see past that podium.
No report, ma'am. Thanks.
Parks and Rec,
I have no report. Thank you, ma'am.
city planner,
Just thank you for the legislation and the public hearing. Thank you.
city engineer,
No report, thanks.
building and zoning,
No report. Thank you.
clerk of council,
I have nothing. Thank you, Ms. Marcus.
law director,
No, ma'am, thank you.
acting finance director,
I have nothing else. Thank you.
city manager,
No items, thank you.
Mayor Murphy,
Nothing further, thank you.
Mr. Burchett,
No report, thank you.
Rotary,
No report, Ms. Marcus, thank you.
Miller,
Nothing further, thanks.
Witt.
I would like to thank the street department, building maintenance. I think it was building maintenance that redid, or had something to do with redoing the overhead at the Civic Center.
That is building maintenance, yes.
That looks really super nice. They're not here to hear me, but
Yeah, it was.
it's such an improvement. We won't have to worry about the birds roosting in the Civic Center. So thank you.
Yes.
That's all.
Mrs. Allen, did you have any? No report. And I have no report, so at this time, we will recess into executive session with no business to follow at 6:42.